This video contains content which may be disturbing to some viewers. The content maybe includes furry content, and some ship mods, Star Wars, sci-fi, explosions, and brightness. If you have a problem with all these, please close the video and turn back now. You have been warned. Welcome one and all to my first playthrough of Stellaris, using the Clone Army origin. As you can see with this display here, this is my traits, my origin, my species, and of course the start of the Clone Army origin, and we were going to be doing this on a frozen arid world start. These are the next slideshow will be displaying the settings of what I'll be playing against the AI. Fair warning, this is quite challenging for those who don't know what they're doing, and I have a specific mod that makes the AI more harder to complete, called the StarNet AI, which you can get in the link in the description below, and I will also be including my mod collections in the description below should you be interested to try this out for yourself. Without any further ado, let us get started. While we start within the mid-center of the galaxy, I move to complete my resource check to make sure that my economy is stabilized, so I'm able to set out my first science ship out into the stars. So my people under the planet system 32 of the solar system shall be able to expand and conquer all those of the planets which may deem habitable. With my first building slot of the minerals I was able to save up, I always build up a temple first to complete the first few of my traditions to gain access to my first ascension perk, called the Technology Ascendancy, so that way we can get more tech early on. With enough unity, I was able to expand for my first tradition, adopting towards the Prospectrum or production Unity tradition, which this mod overlaps the original one. The original tradition that you would adopt is Prosperity, for additional mineral income and stability on your planet. With enough basic resources of food, consumer goods, and alloys, I was able to construct my first colony ship to colonize the first planet that will be within my borders and expand my empire. While I didn't expect to get the precursor that I was hoping to get, the Erusian precursor is quite just as good, as it allows a special surprise for a special building on your shipyard slots, doubling the shipyard capacity, which is very good once I get all the precursors to be unlocked and the system to be found. The time has come to excavate my archaeology site on my homeworld to determine the debates of how my origin of the clone armies and the ancient clone vats that we were required to create ourselves to be seen. We always wondered what would happen in our past. Now is the time to find out. Another thing worth a note is to acquire a spare science ship, at least 2 science ships to survey your systems, and having your 3rd science ship held back, with one of your science officers having the ability to speed up the archaeology speeding site. While I was organizing my second planet to colonize and stabilize to gain some extraction of resources from there, my ship detected an unknown signal from an unknown vessel called First Contact. Let us see what our envoys can do to decrypt their communications and see if we can make contact with our first peaceful empire. With the few traditions have finished within the production tradition tree, we now have our first ascension perk, and we will get the Technological Ascendancy perk to increase our research speed and to get some rare technologies as soon as possible. One of my science ships failed a special project to research one of the anomalies, and have since, for some reason, has encountered a critical error within their engine systems, causing the ship to explode, and the leader along with it. May they rest in peace. With successful attempts to establish our communications with our first empire, or rather, our first station, we have made contact with someone by the name of the Radiant Commerce Exchange. Fascinating species. Although with the enough energy credits that I've come in, I decided to commence a trade deal with them to allow a special resource to be transferred into my account in exchange for monthly credits. This will definitely help out with the early game. One of my science vessels was surveying some planets and systems when they discovered an unknown device called a gateway, which may seem abandoned. I hope to learn what its truly intentions are. I just have to make it there before anyone else does. This will be some different and interesting insights. With enough unity, I was able to acquire my second tradition tree. It was a hard decision, but my outcome was to start on discovery, as I could finish my survey speed and access the Academia Part 3 to access the leader conditioning agenda, which will increase my leader's experience tenfold. Another thing I've noticed is that the second empire that I was trying to decrypt their communications to establish a communications towards them has built a star base on top of the gateway. Whoever they are, they better bring a big gun, because I'm about to bring the pain on them for taking the system that rightfully belongs to me. I must figure out how the technology of the gateways work. I was able to successfully decipher the Empire's communications, and their empire has been deemed the Bremen Company. I often wonder why they were called that, but because their ethics has been the opposite of mine, I cannot have any chance to working of any robots into my empire. I have a feeling I'm going to be at war soon with them. Until then, I must prepare my fleets to battle. As I was slowly expanding my empire and having a stable economy up and running, we have discovered our very first strategic resource that our scientists have surveyed, called rare crystals. I often wonder what they have a purpose for, but the sooner we have the technology to extract them and learn their capabilities, the better. As more and more empires attempt to establish communications with me, I began to feel more and more boxed in. I have to do something quickly, otherwise I may feel to get overwhelmed. I think it's high time that I start to build up my fleets and start our first war. I have a feeling that I'm going to get hurt. But not today, for we are the clone army, and we will never back down. Our archaeology site has been finished, and we have discovered more and more knowledge based on our past with these ancient clone vats. We must decide quickly if the rumors are true, or if the gods have lied to us. I have made the choice that we must face the reality, and that our gods have been a lie. Let us hope that we have made the right decision. Our people has agreed to our decision, and because we have become truthful, the people honor our leadership and have come to face the reality. It's a good thing that we made our decision. Otherwise, it would have been ended badly. It is time to figure out what these species are made out of, and to see if we can gain some more intel. For I have established a spy network within the Bremen Company. Let us see what they are up to. Intelligence from my starbase and the large Stellaris station has already detected some ships massing on the edge of their borders, touching mine. Something tells me we're about to get a war soon. Let's see if they are in control of that. A special project has been initiated to decipher some barcodes within our ancient clone vats to determine our outcome. Let's see if we made the right decision in order to establish what we can do with these ancient clone vats and what they're made out of. With some careful observation of the unknown ships that is amassing aboard, we notice that some of their ship designs are using missile pods for some missile attacks. I think it's high time that I outfit microvets with anti-missile defensive capabilities. That should stop them dead in their tracks. Fast forwarding a few more years, I was finally able to fully ascend within my clone fertility and capabilities, and because of this, we have now gained some bonus to our ship's firepowers when it comes to our fleet admirals. This will certainly give us an advantage should anyone stop us. Time to put this theory to the test. With our fleets fully ready to go and our ground units are ready to plunder, it is now time to begin our first war to conquer our other enemy. Only that I didn't realize he was already at war with a couple other fronts. This ought to be interesting. Let us see how the battle plays out. With the quick and decisive war has come to an unexpected end, and my fleet somehow disappearing into the hyperspace of the emergencies. An unknown empire that I am not aware of has closed their borders against me. They will pay for this. With our very first empire has been defeated. They have been overwhelmed with the enemy force, and has thus been removed from the galaxy. Sucks to be them. With acquiring my very first vassal who has paid me some tributes for basic resources, I now have a more stable economy to now focus on more priorities at hand. I must upgrade my alloy production if I am to overwhelm the galaxy. This is just one of the first steps of my domination. Fast forwarding a few years later, we have now been able to acquire war on two fronts, having my allied vassal take control of another empire who I would deem necessary to be another vassal of mine. Look at them. The space battles is beautiful, but once I'm finished with this first war, I will go and help my vassal. Until then, they'll be able to handle it. With the new technologies have been unlocked, I have now unlocked the second ship set of my armada, the Destroyer class. We must outfit them with guns and missiles to counter the enemy corvettes and get a pounding on their stations. Glorious battles, isn't it? I almost feel bad for the enemy I declared war on. Almost. After some time of countless battles, my ships are dealing with any stragglers from their main fleet. They all will be destroyed, and soon the empire I declared war on will be under my vassalized control, and I will have gained 2 more vassals within my empire. I am growing ever stronger. Now that I have a couple of vassals under my control, I now have the ability to construct some branch offices on their empires to gain some more income and economy on both sides. Well, mostly on my side, but hey, it's a little secret. Don't tell the AI. I have also made my decision to make one of my vassals a scholar, of where in trading of resources, they give me some of their research. As long as I protect them. Well, so to speak. More research for me, which means better tech. I have made first contact with one of the fallen empires, whose ethics I did not expect. They're fanatic materialist. I must be careful. One wrong move and they will come after me. I must need time to build up a counterattack so I can counter even the fallen empires. But hey, I got all the time in the world, since they don't attack others unless provoked. And so ends another weakling empire. Seems like they couldn't stand the firepower. I'm just glad it wasn't me. While I may sometimes have good luck of conquering empires, there is also some bad luck of acquiring some lucky techs from some reliquaries. I guess I might up my luckiness on that. Within the year 2250, I now have the ability to construct some cruisers. I'm gonna outfit them with some of the best strike aircraft the bomber pilots would ever get, and add some arsenals towards my fleet. I think it's this time of the year that things will get some much stronger with bigger guns. With the current standpoints within all the empires, and my current standpoint when it comes to firepower, in the year 2251, almost all the other empires have become pathetic towards my total of around 25k fleet power, if not more. Stay tuned within the next episode, of where we will get some more conquering of other empires, and maybe get some mid-game side effects, and see if we can conquer even the greatest of Khans. That's going to be it for this kind of episode. I hope you all enjoyed for the first episode of my Stellaris playthrough of my current modded playthrough for this. And if you want to try out the mods yourself, the entire mod list will be within the description of the video, along with the different type of mods that I have. Stay tuned for all as we come in for the next episode. Thanks again, and Godspeed.